The journey through time from youth to old age is a natural path for everyone, but reversing that journey holds dangers beyond imagination. In today's story, something extraordinary happens to Armaan. Let's uncover what destiny has in store for him.
Courage won't swoon with a heavy heart, and burden on his crown, the endless battle is where he's renowned.
The rain hammered down in heavy sheets as Armaan stepped into the dimly lit alley, clutching a small, peculiar device in his hand. It hummed faintly, casting a soft blue glow against the slick cobblestones. He could feel the cold air biting at his skin, but it was nothing compared to the chill that gripped his heart.
This is it. I can fix everything.
He muttered, his voice barely audible over the relentless drumming of the rain. Years had passed since the accident. Years of guilt, grief, and the haunting specter of his younger sister, Zara. The memory of her bright laughter echoed in his mind, a cruel reminder of everything he had lost. As he stood there, the device pulsing in his grip, he could almost hear her voice calling out to him, cutting through the storm.
Armaan, where are you?
He squeezed his eyes shut, the sorrow pooling in his gut. The stranger, that mysterious figure who had appeared out of nowhere, had promised him a chance to rewrite the past. But the weight of that promise pressed heavily on his shoulders. With trembling hands, Armaan turned the dial on the device. It spun wildly, lights flickering as he pressed the button. In an instant, the world blurred and twisted around him, colors bleeding together like a watercolor painting left out in the rain. He felt as though he was being pulled backward through time, like a film rewinding to a happier moment. When he finally opened his eyes, he stood on a familiar street corner, sunlight streaming down like a warm embrace. The sounds of laughter and chatter filled the air, and for a moment, he felt a flutter of hope. Zara's laughter rang out, bright and innocent, a melody he had longed to hear again.
Zara!
He called, his voice a mix of urgency and joy. He stumbled toward her, the years of separation melting away with each step. She turned, her face bright with the enthusiasm of youth, her dark curls bouncing with her every move.
Armaan, what's wrong?
She asked, her brow furrowing in concern, the familiar dialect of their small town slipping through her words like a comforting blanket.
Nothing, Zara. Just stay off the road today, okay? Promise me.
His voice trembled, the weight of what he knew pressing down on him like a heavy stone.
Why? You're acting funny, brother.
She replied, a hint of defiance in her tone.
Just trust me, Zara.
He reached out, placing his hand on her shoulder, feeling the warmth of her skin beneath his palm. The sun felt brighter, the world a little less heavy with her beside him. Reluctantly, she nodded, her expression shifting from confusion to understanding.
Okay. I promise. But you better take me for ice cream after.
Deal.
He said, managing a smile as they walked side by side, savoring the mundane beauty of the day. They spent hours wandering the vibrant streets, Zara chattering about her dreams of becoming a painter, her laughter infectious.
I'm going to paint the sky, brother. Just you wait.
She exclaimed, her eyes sparkling with determination. Armaan chuckled, ruffling her hair.
You'll paint the sky and the whole world, Zara. Just remember, you can't paint without making a mess first.
Zara giggled, slapping his hand away playfully.
Haha. You're such a dork.
As the sun began to dip below the horizon, casting a golden hue over their small town, the air felt charged with promise. Armaan's heart swelled with hope. He had done it, he had changed the course of fate. The fateful accident would not happen today. He could finally breathe again. But as they made their way back home, a low hum began to emanate from the device tucked safely in his pocket. Anxiety twisted in his stomach, the joy of the day fading as the reality of what lay ahead loomed like a dark cloud.
Brother Armaan?
Zara's voice pulled him from his thoughts.
What's that noise?
It's nothing, Zara. Just a toy I brought with me.
He forced a laugh, but it sounded hollow even to him.
Can I see it?
She asked, her curiosity piqued.
No.
The word escaped his lips sharper than intended.
I mean, it's kind of broken. Let's just focus on ice cream, okay?
Zara frowned, but her attention shifted as they turned the corner toward home. The familiar side of their small house came into view, and Armaan felt a strange tugging sensation in his chest. The hum from the device intensified, pulsing in time with his racing heart. When they finally reached home, the warmth of familial love wrapped around him like a comforting cloak. He could hear his mother's voice calling them in for dinner, the aroma of spices wafting through the open door.
Zara, Armaan. Come here.
Race you, hee hee.
Zara shouted, darting ahead.
Hey! No fair!
He called after her, laughing as he watched her sprint toward the kitchen. But as he entered the house, a sense of dread washed over him. The device hummed louder, vibrating against his leg, a reminder that this moment was fleeting.
Oh, Armaan, you're just in time. We made your favorite.
His mother exclaimed, her smile lighting up the room.
Thanks, Ma.
He said, trying to mask the turmoil brewing inside him. As they sat down to eat, the conversation flowed easily, laughter bubbling up like a warm broth. But Armaan couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. The device in his pocket felt heavier, as if it was anticipating the moment it would pull him back, away from this joy. Later, after dinner, as Zara and their mother cleared the table, Armaan slipped outside, needing a moment to breathe. The night was alive with the sounds of crickets and the distant hum of traffic, but the joy he had felt began to fade into a haunting whisper of uncertainty. He pulled out the device, its blue glow illuminating his face.
What do you want from me?
He whispered, frustration bubbling to the surface.
Brother Armaan.
Zara's voice broke through the night, and he quickly shoved the device back into his pocket, forcing a smile as she approached.
You okay?
Yeah, just needed some air.
He brushed off the concern, but the frown on her face told him she wasn't convinced.
Let's go paint the sky tomorrow, okay?
She said, her eyes wide with excitement.
Sure.
He replied, but inside, he felt the weight of the truth pressing down on him. As he lay in bed that night, staring up at the ceiling, the hum of the device echoed in his mind. He had changed one moment, but at what cost? He couldn't shake the feeling that the storm wasn't over yet. And just as sleep began to take him, the device vibrated again, a soft pulse that echoed like a heartbeat, reminding him that fate was not finished with him.
Tomorrow.
He whispered into the darkness.
I'll figure it all out. Tomorrow.
But deep down, he knew that the whispers of fate had only just begun.